Alright, welcome back to another new set review here at Playing with Bricks. This little set I actually found when I was at my somewhat local Lego store. I'll say somewhat because the nearest one to me is about 2 hours away. But anyways, I was looking on the shelf and I found this little guy, and I remember as a kid loving the city accessory sets. I mean, it was town back then, but you know, you could get sets that had like trees and bushes and flowers and fences and little minifigure packs and things with just, you know, sets of accessories and things like that. So I think that this caught my eye mostly because of nostalgia reasons. It's only 100 pieces. I think it was about $9 or $10, which, you know, isn't a great deal in the sense that there are no minifigures in here. But I still thought it would be fun to buy just to see exactly what you get for the money. And the next thing I want to do is open this thing up, build it, and we'll be back in just a moment as I show you all the fun things. All right, so what do you get in the actual box here? I've got it opened up, and as you can see, not a lot, but that's expected in a small set, so that's perfectly fine. You get an instruction manual, just a single manual there. Total number of pages here is going to be 35. You get 2 bags of pieces, 3 bags of pieces. There's one small one as well. 2 light poles and the dreaded sticker sheet, which for such a small set actually has a fair number of stickers. So I'm going to quickly put this together. I'm not going to try to do a time-lapse video on this one. I don't think that's worthwhile, but I'll put it together and then we'll come back and see the finished product. Alright, here's a look at the finished product. As you can see, you actually get quite a bit of stuff for your $10 in terms of just, you know, stuff to spread out. But again, without a minifigure in there, you have to kind of weigh that into the cost if that's worthwhile to you. So I thought I'd go through and just show off each thing individually. Now I should note that there's only one printed element in the entire set. That's this classic Lego newspaper. Nothing really new there. And that just sits on a little makeshift table. And you can see you get a little glass of water, a bottle of water, and a coffee mug, and a newspaper. And presumably someone would sit there, although slight omission perhaps that there is no actual chair. Another sort of weird inclusion is this handmade bucket of fruits and vegetables. There's no grocery store, there's no, you know, stand to buy things. I'm not exactly sure what this is. I don't know who would go on a picnic with a banana, an apple, and a carrot. I don't complain about getting more food pieces. I feel like I can always use those, but that one seemed a little bit odd, and I think you could have just given the large basket piece that Lego has molded, and that would have saved some of the piece count there and maybe been able to use it for something else. The next thing that we'll take a quick look at is the construction signs. So the first one is this little Lego man digging. Get my camera to focus there. You can see, if you haven't ever paid attention to this before, and I hadn't, it's pretty cool that the figure that's digging is actually a Lego minifigure. So that was actually my favorite little surprise element, only because I had never really paid attention to that particular sticker before. Other construction items included a jackhammer for the minifigures. There's nothing new or unique about that. We've seen those in plenty of sets. However, nice to have another one. And then you also get some sort of street cleaning type tools, so a brush and a shovel. And those are, you know, intended to be sort of attached to this small street corner with a road sign and a stoplight. So that's nice. Another sign that you get is this, I guess what's supposed to be a bus station sign. I mean, it's a pretty crappy station. There is I guess what would be a recycling bin with a empty bottle of wine on the outside, and I do actually like getting those bottle pieces. I feel like they're actually still kind of hard to come by in a lot of sets, so that's nice. Next, probably for any city, you get a map there, and then a very, very simple, that's all it is, just a couple of pieces, bike stand. But I do like the sort of light blue bicycle that comes with the set. Put a light on the front of that. So that's a nice inclusion. And then the biggest build of the whole thing, believe it or not, is this little parking stand for an attendant to sit there, and then the only sort of action figure or action movement that's in the entire set is this gate does go up and down. It's on a blue hinge piece. You can kind of see that back there. So if you've had Lego for a while, you know that those hinge pieces kind of wear out. So it wouldn't surprise me that if, kids had this set for, a year or two, and they're making it go up and down all the time because, why not? That's the fun of it. That eventually this will probably just sit in the down position. The good news is it can't go further down, so when you have it, on the ground, it'll always have that space there. So it'll always look fine, but it may just not stay in the upright position when that hinge wears out. Again, not a huge deal, and certainly it's designed better so that at least the gate won't lie on the ground, but something to possibly consider. And then probably the strangest inclusion is this little water fountain build that is somehow leaking water from the side. And I guess that's the idea of the jackhammer, that you can hammer that up and try to, fix the leak. Of course, it comes with a green frog, which, always nice to get some animal figures. The one thing that I do like about this, though, is those rounded corner tile pieces, those 1x1 rounded tiles. Those are still relatively new. I think for me, I have a bunch in the modular square huge set, which I don't plan to ever take apart. So to get a few in this for future mocks of my own will certainly be a nice thing, because I will not be keeping this set together as it is. And finally, the last and the only bit of greenery that was always a draw for me when I was a kid was getting flowers and trees and stuff like that. I do wish that Lego would have included at least one of those plastic pine trees that they have in a lot of the winter sets now. I think that would have added quite a bit of value to this little set. But, as it stands, there's nothing wrong with this. It's supposed to be a tree or some kind of tall plant and a planter, I guess, and some red flowers. Very standard. Nothing wrong. Nothing overly spectacular. In total, the set has 6 stickers, which is obviously a lot. You also get kind of the standard selection of extra pieces. I will never complain about getting extra grass pieces, though, so that's good. I was hoping, and actually a little bit surprised to see that you don't get an extra one of the corner pieces, so that was interesting. And then in what I think must be an error, maybe I'm wrong about that, my set came with an extra one of these very large pieces, the one that is used on the bus light pole. So that where it'll sit flat. So yeah, I ended up with a second one of these when, they're certainly a useful piece. So that does it for this set, the Lego set 40170. It's just a city accessory pack. I don't even know if it has a name other than that. Certainly does not on the box. And again, it's 100 pieces. You kind of get a nice mix of stuff. I don't think there's anything that I would say is must have. The bicycle's nice, so if you don't have a blue bike, this is an easy and cheap way to get one. This is, unless you're making like a parking garage or something, most of us in our layouts, we don't have a lot of room for just parking lots, so I'm not sure how much use this stand itself will have. Also, there is no window here. There's a window frame, but there's no glass that they give you. They do give you one side window, but that's really it for that. So that's I think it could have been a little bit better, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. I love the idea of city accessory packs, and I think that when they're done well, they can be really interesting. I'm just not sure that this one gives you enough interesting stuff. It's so haphazard and it's so incomplete. I mean, you only, for example, you get one red light, but even in the barest of city streets, you would want at least two of those, one for sort of each direction. And I mean, they're not hard and they're not built out of rare pieces exactly, but again, if you're really trying to get a nice city going, that would have been nice. I guess Lego's probably thinking, well, we want you to buy 2 packs of these so that you get sort of a pair for each. But then again, I'm not really sure what you're doing with, for example, 2 tables and goodness knows if you buy city sets, you have enough coffee mugs to, probably drink an actual gallon of coffee out of, 1 drop at a time from each mug. So yeah, I think that the idea is great, and I actually hope that Lego continues doing this. I think the execution in this particular set just isn't that good. Would I recommend that you buy it? I mean, sure, it's relatively cheap. It's under $10. If you want, any of those pieces, by all means. But again, there's really nothing printed other than the newspaper. So I hate stickers, and there were a lot in here, 6 in total. You don't actually get to pair anything up, so it's almost like you have to buy 2 of these, but now all of a sudden you're spending $20 and you don't have any minifigures, and I'm not sure how many jackhammers one actually will need for a city layout, etc. So again, can't give this one my full recommendation, although I'm not mad that I bought it, and I hope that gives you a good look at this, and you can make your own mind up about whether you like it or not. What I'm curious about, though, let's say we try to design our own city accessory pack for $10 or less. What would you like to see in one? I already mentioned for me, I'd definitely like to see a little bit more greenery, flowers, trees, that type of thing. But what would you like to see? Maybe you think this is perfect. Let me know in the comments, and I will be back soon with some more videos. Thanks for watching. Bye.